Before jumping into NPV function, first let's review NPV. The idea behind net present value is simple. Do the benefits, the cash flows, exceed the costs, which is the initial investment, to justify the investment, right? Do the benefits exceed the cost to justify the investment? NPV is the sum of discounted projected cash flows associated with the project less the original cost. The discount rate that we use accounts for the risk associated with these cash flows. The discounting procedure accounts for risk and also the fact that the cash flows will be received over a specified period of time, which means they are simply not worth to us equally because they are received over different time periods. So if the NPV is positive, the benefits exceed the cost. If it's negative, the costs actually exceed the benefits. So now let's take a look at how to actually calculate it. We take each cash flow, we discounted it at an appropriate discount rate at an appropriate time period. We add them all up and then we deduct the initial cost. Before using NPV formula though, NPV function in Excel, I wanted to calculate present value manually using the PV formula that we know, where we just take the future value and discount it at a discount rate. If we do that, the idea and the concept behind the present value and net present value and how the NPV function works will become clearer. So let's calculate net present value manually first. So we're going to do equal sign here. We're going to grab the cash flow, divide it by, open the parentheses, 1 plus, grab the discount rate, absolute reference the discount rate by putting the dollar signs in front of the column and also in front of the row. What that's going to do is fix that particular cell in place. So whenever I copy the formula, it will always use this cell, the 10%. Close the parentheses and take it to the power of the appropriate period, which in this case is 0. Press enter. Okay, then I'm just going to do Control C, Shift, hold Shift down and go all the way down. So what I'm getting here is the present value of each of the cash flows. Okay, present value of cash flow 1, 2, 3, so on and so forth. Okay, so now to get the present value of future cash flows, all I have to do is just do a sum, go up here and grab all the present values from year 1 through year 5 because we're interested in present value of future cash flows. Okay, to find net present value, I'm going to take the present value of the future cash flows. This is this portion of the formula that I just figured out, and I'm going to add in the initial investment, cash flow 0. So now we figured out NPV manually, so to speak. Now let's use NPV function. So we're going to do equal NPV, open the parentheses, we're going to grab the rate, comma. But now let's take a look at what the syntax actually tells us. It tells us grab values 1, 2, 3, etc. So that is something really important to understand about NPV function in Excel. You should never include cash flow 0 in NPV function in Excel. That is not its purpose. What NPV function in Excel does, it calculates present value of future cash flows. It actually does not calculate net present value. Okay, so what we need to do, we need to grab values 1 through 5, year 1 through 5, and we are going to get the present value of future cash flows. So then how do we calculate NPV using the NPV function? Well, what we're going to have to do is do this procedure, but then also add in the cash outflow for the initial investment. So equal NPV. We're going to go up to 10%, comma. We're going to grab values 1 through 5, close the parentheses, and then we're going to go ahead and add in the cash outflow. Okay, and that's how we use the NPV function in Excel. So again, NPV function in Excel calculates present value of future cash flows. So then we have to use this function to do that. And then once we close the parentheses and finish our function syntax, then we add in the initial outflow, as long as it's, of course, already specified as a negative. If it's not, then you would deduct.